Hey, what's up, y'all? Well, it's time to update my top 25 going into week 14 of the 2024 college football season. So, of course, we will, let's see, start with teams that I kicked out of the poll. Of course, I did kick out Washington State uh, after they lost to Oregon State and Army after they got blown out by Notre Dame. So now others receiving votes. I did have in no particular order. Army, Syracuse, UNLV, and Louisiana. So I did. Okay, so now let's go ahead and put up the first 9. So 25 through 17. So new to the poll this week, I do have Duke and Missouri. Of course, now I know that both of these teams, well, their records are a product of their schedule. Let's just be honest. I mean Duke. I mean they've lost to they lost to Miami. They lost to SMU and Georgia Tech. Yeah, really, they should have beat SMU. Had a chance to win with a field goal, and they blew it. And it got blocked. Other than that, who's Duke's best win? It's got to be North Carolina. They're bowl eligible. I mean they have beaten one bowl eligible Power 4 team, and that was North Carolina. So of course they did almost lost to Northwestern, almost lost to UConn. So I mean they're kind of just barely ranked, but anyway, and in the number 24, of course, we do have Missouri, and they got blown out by Alabama and Texas A&M, and a close loss to South Carolina. So no bad losses, but not really any good wins either. Who's their best win? I guess it's got to be either Oklahoma or Vanderbilt. Anyway, how about number 23? We do have Tulane. I think are they in the same place as last week? I think. Anyway, yeah, they got 2 losses to Oklahoma and Kansas State. Yeah, they almost beat Kansas State though. Anyway, but then they're good wins. They did beat Louisiana, who is 9-2, and they also shut out Army 35-0. So anyway, they do play Memphis next. Yeah, Duke just beat Virginia Tech. They will finish up against Wake Forest. Mizzou just blew out Mississippi State. They will finish up against Arkansas. Anyway, Tulane just beat like Rice or someone. They got Memphis. They do finish up the regular season with Memphis. So another chance for a good win. Anyway, and then number 22, of course, I do have Texas A&M. Of course, they fell 5 places from number 17 after losing to Auburn. Of course, they also lost got blown out by South Carolina, and they also lost to Notre Dame to open the season. But anyway, next up, A&M does host Texas, and they still have a chance to make the SEC championship if they win. So, who's A&M's best win? I guess it's got to be LSU, right? But now that doesn't look as good of a win now. But anyway, let's see what else about Colorado. I did drop them. They were number 16 last week, or did I have them at 15? Yeah, I did drop them down, of course, after they got blown out by Kansas. Anyway, of course, just lost to Kansas. They also lost to Kansas State, and got blown out by Nebraska in week 2. Who's their best win? I guess it's got to be against like Baylor, right? Get Baylor and Texas Tech are their best wins. Anyway, play at Oklahoma State next. Anyway, let's see. How about number 20? Do have Illinois. Now, I know that Illinois has had a weak schedule. I mean, outside of Oregon and Penn State, but of course, I already had them ranked last week. So of course, and they won. So, whereas Colorado and Texas A&M lost. So, to move them up, I think I had them like 22 last week. So. Of course, they lost to Oregon and Penn State, and they also lost to Minnesota. Yeah, that was a bad loss. They haven't played anyone otherwise, and I mean, they really haven't looked dominant in any of their wins. Let's see, they just beat Rutgers. Is that their best win? They also beat they also beat they also did they beat Michigan? Yeah, they did. Yeah, they beat Michigan, and beat Nebraska. Anyway, 19, Kansas State. Of course, I did move them up. I had them 23 last week. Like 22. Anyway, so yes, I did move up Kansas State. Obviously, they have to be ahead of Colorado because they beat Colorado. Anyway, Colorado's one of their good wins. They also beat who's the team they beat? They beat Kansas. I mean, looks like a good win right now, but let's see. They lost to got blown out by BYU. Lost to Arizona State, and then also lost to Houston. Yeah, that was a bad loss. But anyway, of course, they just blew out Cincinnati. Next, they do play play at Iowa State. Let's see. Illinois finishes up with their in-state rival Northwestern. I forgot to mention that one. Let's see. Next up, at number 18, we have BYU. Obviously, got to have BYU above Kansas State. But anyway, they did fall 8 places from number 10 after losing to Arizona State. Of course, they also lost to Kansas. I guess their best win was that a blowout win against Kansas State. Anyway, they do finish things up with Houston. Let's see. Next, we got at number 17, we do have Iowa State, and I did move them up. What 5? What 4? Yeah. 2 spots after Colorado and BYU lost ahead of them. Iowa State. I guess their best win is against Iowa. It's really against Iowa. Anyway, we got to see that who did they lose? They lost to Kansas and Texas Tech. But anyway, let's see. They last game they beat Utah. They do finish up things up. They host Kansas State. Okay, now let's hit the next 8. We do have 16 through 9. Let's start with Clemson. Now, of course, there's a lot of there's going to be a lot of shake up from like number 16 to number 7. Yes, a lot of shake up. But anyway, because of all the teams that lost this week, I did put Clemson at number 16. As they're in the same place they were last time. So you got blown out by Georgia to open things with the season. Lost to Louisville. Which now looks like a bad loss now. I mean Louisville just lost to Stanford. So they got 4 losses now. Anyway, who is Clemson's best win? I don't even know. Is it Pitt, I guess? Guess no ranked wins. Which is why they're still at number 16. Didn't move them up at all. They were playing Wofford this week. Of course, they got they host Clemson, in-state rival to finish the season. Clemson still has a small chance of making the playoffs, but they need help. Got to start by beating South Carolina, though. Let's see. Then number 15. I have Ole Miss. I did drop them from would I have them number 8? So we did drop them 7 places after they lost to Florida. Now pretty much eliminated from the playoffs. Of course, that they do still have the win against Georgia to hold on to, but I mean they've got some bad losses. I mean they probably don't even deserve to even be ranked this high. I mean, the loss to Kentucky, that's still Kentucky's only SEC win. And the loss to LSU, that looks like a bad loss now. That they've got 4 losses, and now the loss to Florida. Florida's sitting at 6-5. I mean, do they have any other good wins besides Georgia? Oh yeah, I guess South Carolina. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they blew out South Carolina, so that was a good win. So. Okay, yeah, so wait a minute. Yeah, I messed up. I need to have both these switched. That's why on the screen, you will see that that these are switched. I actually need to have South Carolina below. No, actually, I don't really have to. Well, yes, I guess I do. They have the same record anyway, so it's actually should actually be South Carolina should be at 15, and Ole Miss should be at 14 because they beat South Carolina head to head. So yeah, just now noticed I made that mistake on my notes. So, but anyway, so yeah, it's the Ole Miss at 14, South Carolina at 15. Anyway, yes, where South Carolina did lose to Ole Miss, I just said that. They almost beat Alabama, but they didn't. So Bama still has to be ranked ahead of them. And then their only other loss was to LSU. So I mean South Carolina could easily be sitting at 10-1 right now. I mean they got robbed in that South Carolina game, so they should be at least 9-2 right now. But anyway, with South Carolina's good wins, well, they did have the blowout win against Texas A&M. Yeah, that's a good win. They beat anyone else good? No, I think that's about it. The win over A&M, but also beat Vandy. That's not really a great win either. About Mizzou, well, yeah, they beat Mizzou. Yeah, that's a good win. So, but anyway, they just beat Wofford. Actually, yeah, Clemson played Citadel. That's right, and South Carolina played Wofford. But anyway, whatever. Finished things up at Clemson. Let's see. You said 14 Ole Miss, right? 13 Alabama. Right, so both these teams got dropped 6 places. Of course, Bama lost to Oklahoma. yeah, I mean, Ole Miss beat Oklahoma, but then again, Bama also beat LSU, and and Ole Miss lost to LSU. So I mean, you could look at that either way. So I'll just leave it at the same. I'll just leave Bama ahead of Ole Miss because that's what I already had. But in anyway, of course, Bama lost to Vandy. And Oklahoma, though those are both bad losses. Got blown out by Oklahoma, and of course also the loss to Tennessee. They do still have the win against Georgia, which is why they're even still ranked this high. But who else has Bama beat besides Georgia? I mean, LSU, that now doesn't look as good anymore. But anyway, of course, you do host Auburn this week. All right, so I guess we're going to move on to number 12. We got Arizona State. They're now the highest ranked Big 12 team on top of the Big 12 standings. Just have to beat Arizona, and they will clinch a spot in the Big 12 championship. It's their next game, coming off a win against BYU. Yep, so in back-to-back weeks, they beat Kansas State and then turned around and beat BYU, and they have just rocketed up the rankings. But anyways, basically the 12 teams. I mean, the teams that I have in the top 12 are basically the teams that I think are going to make the playoffs. So I think that that's how it should be right now. I mean, feel like your top 12 should be the 12 teams that you think will make the playoffs. So anyway, so they lost to Texas Tech and who was it? Cincinnati. I know those aren't really. Those are bad losses, but anyway, number 11. You do have Indiana. I did drop them 8 spots from number 3 after they got blown out by Ohio State. But I mean, all they have to do is beat Purdue, and you're in the playoffs. And yeah, Ohio State being your only loss. What's Indiana's best win? I mean, it doesn't. It doesn't really matter. They're 10-1, but about to be 11-1. But I guess, is it Michigan? I guess, or maybe Nebraska. Is it Washington? But anyway, but I mean, they have looked good in almost all of their wins. They've won convincingly. So all right. Anyway, so then at number 10, we've got Tennessee. They did move up 4 spots after, let's see who lost in front of them after Alabama, Ole Miss, Indiana, lost. So, but anyway, so yeah. Yep, Tennessee. Yep. Next game is against you're at Vanderbilt. Yep, win, and you're in. Let's see. Just played UTEP this week. Of course, they have the losses to Georgia, and then Arkansas. Yep, yeah, that was a bad loss. Don't know how that one happened, but you did beat Alabama, so. Anyway, but of course, a win against Alabama doesn't look as good now, but whatever. Anyway, all right, number 9, I do have Boise State. Yep, Boise State just beat. They survived against Wyoming. Clinching their spot. They will now host the Mountain West Championship. So anyway, okay. Of course, we all know about Ashton Jeanty. Yep, he just went over 2,000 yards rushing. Anyway, let's see. Who's there? Yeah. They lost to Oregon. They lost to the number 1 team by a field goal. And what's their best win? Is it UNLV, I guess? And then Washington State for a while. That looked like a good win. Doesn't really look like a good win now, but I mean, you did blow them out. So anyway, so see, next they do play Oregon State. So all right. Anyway, here we go now. Top 8. It's number 8. We do have Miami. Number 7, we have SMU. Yeah, I did decide to have. Oh yeah, I did decide to drop Boise State below Miami after they struggled with Wyoming. So, but anyway, the reason why I put SMU ahead of Miami. See, Miami lost to Georgia Tech. SMU lost to BYU, so SMU has the better loss. But anyway, who has Miami beat? Yeah, who's their best win? Is it Florida? I mean, is it Louisville? Is it Duke? I mean, Florida might be your best win, actually. Anyway, but yeah, no ranked wins. See, SMU, I don't think they have any ranked wins either. I mean, they did beat Louisville, who was ranked at the time. Oh yeah, I guess Duke. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Miami's best win is against Duke, and SMU also beat Duke. So that's the only ranked win for both teams, and Duke is like barely ranked, and I mean, they're only ranked in my poll. They're not even ranked in the AP. We'll see if they make an appearance in the playoff top 25. Anyway, next Miami finishes things off at Syracuse, and SMU hosts Cal. And both teams win, right? So if all goes according to plan, it will be Miami and SMU in the ACC championship. Anyway, now in number 6, we got Penn State. Of course, I did drop them down a spot, or did drop them down 2 places. Anyway, after they almost lost to Minnesota. But anyway, it was Penn State's best win. Yeah, they did lose to Ohio State. That's the only loss, and they only lost by 7. So I guess that we considered a good loss. But it was Penn State's best win. I guess they did beat Illinois. I guess that's Penn State's best win. Anyway, so now they just got one more game. They play Maryland. You win that, and you're in. Let's see. Next, how about number 5? We do have Notre Dame. Of course, they did lose to NIU, but I mean, they've put that loss, way behind them. I mean, Notre Dame is peaking at the right time. I mean, they're playing their best football right now. So I mean, they're just blowing everyone out right now. So, what is their best win? We just beat Army. Army's not ranked anymore, but yeah, they did give them their first loss. Let's see, Louisville. Although that win, it doesn't look as good right now. Let's see, beat Georgia Tech, and of course, we can't forget they did beat Texas A&M to start the season. And next game, Notre Dame finishes things up against Southern Cal. Again, just got to win and you're in. Now, of course, number 4, I did put Texas. I did finally decide to move Georgia ahead of Texas, so we're already up to number 3. Even though we have 2 losses, Texas only has 1. Remember, we beat Texas in Austin by 2 touchdowns. So, I mean, yes, so a convincing win. So, anyway, yes, number 4, Texas. Of course, they only lost to Georgia. So no bad losses, but again, no ranked wins either. But I mean, at least they didn't lose to NIU. But anyway, of course, they beat Kentucky. And they do play at Texas A&M next week. Winner goes to the SEC championship to play Georgia. Anyway, let's move on. Number 3, of course, we got Georgia. We beat Texas and Tennessee by 2 touchdowns. Of course, we did lose, have a close loss to Alabama. And yes, we got blown out by Ole Miss. And now those losses now look worse, but of course we do play. We do host Georgia Tech next. Of course, after we just blew out UMass. Anyway, number 2, Ohio State. Number 1, Oregon. That has not changed. Yeah. Anyway, of course, Oregon beat Ohio State, and of course, Ohio State has the best loss out of anyone. a 1-point loss to the number 1 team. You can't have a better loss than that. And then, of course, they also beat Penn State and Indiana. Let's see, they do play Michigan this week. Just got to win that, and you're into the Big Ten championship to face Oregon. Oregon, of course, is the win over Ohio State. Let's see what other good wins. They also beat Illinois. Anyway, yes, yes, Oregon is number 1, so they do finish things up against Washington. So anyway, so yeah, that is going to be it. So let me know what y'all think in the comments below, and thanks for watching, and I will see y'all again next time.